Hey everybody, I'm Carla Hall. I want to show you some easy decorating tips for the holidays. Cookies, cutout cookies especially, it's a commitment. You have to make the dough, chill the dough, roll out the dough, cut the dough, and then there's wasted dough. With these cookies, I'm gonna make some trees. You can make any other shape. You make the dough and you can actually go right ahead and pipe it. You really want the dough to be soft and pliable. This is a shortbread dough. I have a tip that has like little star patterns or just little jagged edge because you want the texture. And I'm also using a silicone baking mat because it's gonna stay in your sheet pan. If you use parchment paper, it's going to lift up. In my piping bag, I am right-handed, so I take my left hand, I take my thumb and forefinger, I twist the bag, I am applying pressure with my hand, and I am guiding with my right hand. And also squeezing. So I'm gonna start at the top. If your dough is too stiff, just massage it a little bit. If it's still really stiff and it can't come out of your piping tip, put it in the microwave at 5-second intervals. You have your sprinkles, sprinkle on before you bake them. All right, you can't appreciate them when they're like this, but look at this. Super cute, right? I'm gonna make a decorated Christmas tree and you don't need a special mold. So I bake this cake in a sheet pan. I am going to take off the top. Now I'm starting with a serrated knife that makes cutting really, really easy. Now what I'm going to do is to cut this cake into a triangle. You saw so that you can make a clean cut. I'm gonna tell you, you all have seen me on Halloween baking, holiday baking, and I'm always telling the bakers, there's hot water and saw your cake. It's one of my pet peeves. I love a nice clean slice. You put these together, that's gonna be the top layer. And so now I'm gonna put a little bit of frosting down on the platter so that the cake doesn't move. Now, the one thing that I wanna make sure is I don't wanna mess up my platter. This is the platter that I'm gonna present on. So I'm gonna take strips of parchment paper to place on the platter so that I can have an easy cleanup. Now, what we're gonna do now is a crumb coat. A crumb coat is necessary because you want to coat the crumbs. It's literally just enough frosting to seal everything in. All right, I'm gonna put this in the fridge. I'm gonna do a little swap out. All right, so look at that. It's all set. Now I'm just gonna add more frosting. It's looking pretty darn good. And as you can see, I'm not making a mess, but I don't care because I have what? That parchment paper collar. And I'm using an offset spatula. Yeah, and if you want to, you can use a spoon. A spoon kind of has that lift, like an offset spatula. Now what I'm gonna do is add some texture. I'm gonna do that with a standard fork. You don't need any new tools. You don't have to buy anything. So what I'm gonna do is just create movement with my fork, almost like pine needles. This should be the fun part. This is also why the cake doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. One of the easiest ways to decorate the cake is to use candy. I'm gonna use the licorice for garland, and I really want that draping motion. And I have a little bend, again, because we want that movement, right? I mean, get the kids involved. And now what I'm gonna do is just take the gumdrops for your ornaments. So easy and effective, right? And now it's just a very simple cleanup. Look at this. You use whatever candy you want for your ornaments. And look at the garland. It looks so good. Look at that. You know what I'm gonna do? Toot toot Hong Kong ga ooga. This is me tooting my own horn.